Hello friends, welcome to Intuites.
Let's begin the class.
And hope my screen is visible completely, correct? So is it okay to give another 3-4 like set of assignments? More about 20 questions more. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's okay. Yes, Samir. Because we got weekend time, we
Yeah,
can work on it.
sure.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, so group by and having is something like whenever you want to use a aggregate function. Aggregate function in the sense sum, average, count,
Some
max,
average,
mean.
min, max.
So if you do a sum of sales here, normally sales column. So whatever like 999 rows I have, I just want to sum everything. All of this. So this is the total amount. But when I distributed this total sales across, let's take different regions. So I want to understand that each region how much sales is happening. Then in this case, this is a normal column and this is a non-aggregated column. So that time I need to group by my region. So what will happen? It will take group by region means it will take all the distinct region, whatever I have in my database, and based on that, the sum of sales will be distributed. So this amount will be distributed across different regions. To run this, you will get, see, so if you sum this up, it will be the total amount, but whereas the east, south, west, and central, these are the 4 distinct regions I have. For that, I'm doing a group by. Alright, and having is what? Once you got this amount, right? Suppose you want to put a condition on the sales amount. So for the east, this much amount, right? So if I want to use a function, let's say the sum of sales greater than, let's say, 45,000, something like that. So if we want to do a condition based on aggregation or any kind of functions, then you need to use the having clause. Normal, we can do the where clause. The where clause works row by row, whereas having clause will work when there is a group by, and on that group you want to do a filter. That is the having. Make sense? All right. So okay, let's today discuss about very few functions we will discuss, okay, like string function, date functions, null functions, how we can handle it. Let's see. So I have an employee table. Hopefully this employee table, department table you guys created, right? Even yesterday I given that. So here what I want here in this case, this is a very important thing. It will be very helpful in your real time, okay? So let's take, I'm taking my department ID and my employees underscore name from my employee. Anyway, we'll get the data, department underscore IT. So we are getting each employees, we are getting their employees. 200, these are the employees. 300, these are the employees. 500. Okay. But my output, what I need in this case is something like this. So 2 columns I need. So let's take department underscore ID, employee underscore name. This is my output. So here I need 100, 200, 300, and 500. And in the employee name, right? Instead of printing each row, I need a list in the sense like this. So for the employees, something like this, comma, comma, like this. So for the 200 also like this, I need 300, 5. So this is called a list separated by comma, correct? So this is my output I am expecting from the data. It makes sense? Output is clear for you guys?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So to use this, we need to use a function called string underscore aggregate. So that is also an aggregate function also, just like your sum, max, min, count, average and all. So this function also is like a string aggregate. It's an aggregate function. So how you will use it? After the department, I will say string underscore aggregate. Okay. Then
Sir,
I will say, go ahead.
sir, if we use group by also, we get the same output, no?
No, list will not get, right? We'll get row by row.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. Yeah.
So now I will use the string aggregate. There will be 2 parameters for this. First is the column name and second is the separate. Separate in the sense how you want to do the separation for each employee, either through a comma, or through a pipe or any symbol. So let's try with the comma, okay? And since if you run this, you will throw an error. Why the error is? Because this is an aggregate function. So as you know that whenever you are using aggregate function, we need to use, correct? Remember from the first step, sum, max, min, whenever you are using. So I need to use my group. By what? Department ID. This makes sense. Now let's understand this, and I'm aliasing this as emp underscore list. Now, if you run this, you'll get very good out whatever you are looking at. See? Any questions?
No questions.
One thing in this case, just I want to ask you this question. Be attentive and answer this question. If you see the 100 employees, right? So there are a couple of employees. There are 4 employees. I want to do a sorting based on their alphabets. So it should be from A to Z. Right now it's a random. C, K, A, S, everything is coming. I need a random. I need a ascending order from A to Z, the names. How should I do it?
Group by department
Order by
ID.
we can use.
It's
Sorry.
already group by, right?
Order by we can use.
Okay.
No,
Where
it's
I will after the group by, I need to use order by. Okay. Order by what?
EMP name.
EMP list.
EMP.
Right? This one I'm talking about, right? This column you want to order by, right? Yes or no?
Yes, I think so.
Happened? What happened? Something happened, but that is not the expected thing. But something happened. What happened? If you
So
do order by employee.
the order by I think department ID it came.
Order by department ID came. No, but we are giving employee list, right? How department ID will
No,
come?
employee list, it started with Aditya A, B, C, the
Hmm.
A, C, N,
Yes,
and
sir.
P. So that came in order,
Correct.
not the
Correct.
list.
The starting letter
Yeah.
of the.
Yeah. Starting letter of each employee, so it came up sorted. But that is not my requirement, right? Within the list only I need the sort, right? So it means that the order by works how? Row by row. Each row will be do the sorts, right? The first row is starting with A, second row is starting with C, N, and P. So order by always works row by row. Make sense? But in this case, my requirement is bit different. So you understand this point?
Yeah.
Now, but my requirement is I want to do within this group. This is one group, right? This is second group. That group I want to do the aggregation. So for that, I will do here in this case. After the string aggregate you define, right? Here I need to specify one thing. I say within group. Okay. I need to specify this. Within the group, then I will say order by whatever maybe department ID or what is that employee name. So what it is saying that the string aggregate will create a list, and within that group make the order by employee name. Now if you execute this, you will get the exact output what you are looking at. You see the each and every group started with A, C, K, and S. Here also N, S, S. So this is the one addition we need to do when you are using the string aggregate. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. And we can do anything here also. Order by say it's not like we can use, so whatever you are using on the string aggregate, only that column needs to be in the order by. No, it's you can use anything other than that. Okay, you can say order by. Do I have a salary for the column? Start my-
No. Yes, we have salary in the employee list.
You have right. So I can put my salary 600. This also I can do that. What happened within the group, whoever is getting the highest salary will come first. So in this 100 group, Karuna is the highest paid employee. Then by Amrut, then this guys. This also you can do it. You can do. Okay, this makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Now let's discuss couple of other string functions. So just see the syntax and how you are using, and I will give the questions there. Then there will be some implementation will come there so that you can get familiar to that. So the first function I want to use is called the length. The length function is something like it will calculate the number of characters for each string. Like when let's say customer name. So I will say customer underscore name, and I'll say length of customer name from my orders. So what I will do, what I will give you. So each customer, so this customer have 9 characters, this customer have 11 characters. So this will count the number of characters within a string. Make sense?
Yes.
Length. Now the next function which I want to discuss is called the left function. So what the left function is? Left function will take you 2 parameters. First is the string and the number of characters. So let's take, I am saying customer name, comma 2. I'm giving a random number. So this is my left example. So what exactly happening? Can you just tell me by seeing the out
It's just giving the first two characters of the name
from which side?
from the left side. That
Correct.
is the customer name.
Correct. So left function will give you the number of characters from the customer name, and how many numbers you give provided, that many characters it will give you from the left hand side. Make sense? Question? No? We are good, right?
Sir, one second, can you explain?
Nothing. It's like ANN is there. Right? First two correct. AN. In this case, GI,
Oh,
MI,
oh,
this KU. First two characters
okay,
from the
okay,
left side.
okay, yeah.
Okay. Now, next function I want to discuss is called a substring. So, substring is like, let's take customer underscore name, comma 4, comma 5. There will be three parameters here. Okay. I'm giving, you need to explain me this. Let me put it first. Can you explain me the substring, please? Somebody, what exactly the output you are getting here? Why you are getting, you are taking an example of this string and you are getting BLUM here in this case. ANNBLUME is there, but we are getting BLUM.
Second, second word. Yeah, like a last name. It is taking only the last name.
It's taking with respect to the number of characters. So you're saying 4. So it is starting from the fourth character.
Yeah.
Okay.
ANN space. So ANN space becomes 4. So
Mm,
after 4, so possibly it is taking from A as 0th character, N as
mm,
the first character, next N second, space 3. So B
mm.
is fourth character, starting from 4 characters it is
So this
placing.
is the
So
data,
doing
right?
the substring.
This is the, yeah. So this is the
Yeah,
data.
right.
So we are starting at fourth position. We're starting at fourth position. This is my first position, second, third, and fourth is the space. Okay. From there, it is taking 5 characters. So that includes space as well. The space BLUM. So here one space is there in this case at least. So that's what the 5 characters is all about. So what is the substring is all about? First is where you
Which
want to
character is
start
starting?
position and number of characters. This is called the substring. Good. Next is called, this is also very important function. That is called the char index. Char index is something like I say a space. So I'm specifying one space from my customer. Let's do. I'll explain you after that what the two parameters is all about. Okay. Let's run this. What do you mean by 4 here, guys, in this case? You understand length? I'm giving proper example of the column.
Space.
Length, left, substring. Understand three functions? Now, the third one is a char index. What do you mean by 4 here?
Where is the space coming?
What else? Other is the same thing. So char index is something like whatever you specified in the first parameter, that is the search parameter. Okay, it's a search criteria. We are searching for a space where in the customer, and once it is find out, it will give you that index number or which position that space is available on the customer. So if you see up to here, all the strings have space at fourth position, but where is the second one? These guys have space at 8th position. So that's what the char index is all about. It will give you the index number of the specified string within a string, whatever the search is. Make sense? What is the use of this? We'll see. This we can use the first name, last name. That is an assignment for you. We can do that. Any questions up to now? Next is concat. Concat is very simple, right? You need to concat one thing with another. Say let's take order. What is the column name we have? Order ID or underscore ID? Yes. Can somebody explain confirm that? Order underscore ID. Order underscore ID. Then I'm giving some space. Then let's say customer underscore name or customer ID. So here what will happen is we can concat multiple strings. So it is this first part is your order ID, then there is a space, then there is a customer ID. So we can concatenate the strings using the concat. Very simple. Nothing to explain in this. Okay. Next, trim. Trim is a function which will delete the remove the leading and the trailing spaces. Okay, so what does this mean? So let's take an example of here. I'm giving my name here. I'm giving 1 2 spaces. I'm giving my name 1 2 spaces. So the string contain some spaces before, that is called the leading spaces, and after this space also there is some, after the string there is some trailing spaces also there, right? So if I say it will just delete everything and it will give you the proper name. So it will be trim is function to use to remove leading and your trailing spaces. Any questions?
If I
Are you
give
good?
two names in a trim, like first and
How
starting,
you
or two different name, will it trim?
means what two names means?
Um,
And the comma
give
and comma
after,
put
no. After Samir, if I give two space and then I put another name, like your full name, if I add,
like this.
yeah, will it remove the in between space? No.
No, leading and
Yeah,
trailing, only leading and trailing.
only leading and trailing. Okay.
Okay. The next function is called your replace. You are using replace anytime. No need to do anything here in this case, but still, I want to do something. Let's take me order ID. So wherever the order ID US is there, I just want to replace with something USA something. Let's take. So order underscore ID, first my number, then what is there on my string, then I want to replace with this. Let's replace it. Okay, so it will happen. What happen is in this case, will give you USA, USA. Wherever it found US, it will give you USA. One more thing, guys, I just want to understand here your how you are clear on this panda. When you are replacing this, is it replacing on the table? Let me ask you this question. Who are
No,
there
I
in the
think
call?
only for that query it is giving. I think it is not replacing the original table.
What
It's
about
just
others?
fetching the results.
Correct. What about others?
Same thing. Same thing.
Same thing. Okay, you just be sure on this. This is select. Select is not gonna change anything on the table. So your table is intact. If you use only. You are just replacing for this for your display. For your display, you are doing these changes. How you want to look, or how you want to see the data, look and feel. That's what you are doing in the select. And you can select in select. You can do anything. You can extract anything. You can just modify anything, but that will not hamper your database or the tables data. That you need to make sure on this. Now another function I want to ask, I have to display, that is just a like a reverse to the replace, that is called your translate. But here the difference is, let's take, we have customer name here. Let's take customer name. So AG comma example. So here what happened, difference between your replace and your translate is, so if you see here, in replace what happened is, wherever it founds the string called US, complete US, then it will remove to the US. But in case of the translate, what happened is, it is like a group. So first letter, wherever it founds A, in this first case, if you see, found A, it will replace with T, okay? And whenever in the string it founds G to replace with, that's where the translate works. You need to make sure on this one. I want to explain one more time.
Yes, Samir. Translate.
Replace, you understand? Whole string.
Yeah.
It will consider whole string as this one. So wherever it founds US is a word, rightly. US, then it will replace with USA. But in case of translate, whatever you are giving in the string, right? It
Mm-hmm.
will not take whole string. It will take the first letter of the string
Sure.
A and it will replace with T. And second one, whenever it finds the G, it will replace with individuals. Okay.
Okay.
Is it only a single occurrence, or wherever A is found, it will replace with
Wherever.
T?
Wherever on the string, it will. You can check it out. Like how many A's are. You just take an example of that. You can do that. But
Christiana Anderson, you can check.
which one?
12, Christiana Anderson. Wherever A is there, it has been replaced with T.
Yeah, that's correct.
So what is the use of this, Samir?
Yeah, I'll give an example for this. But here, one thing is that suppose I am giving in this 3 parameters here in this case, AGP, and I'm not giving third parameter. So if I run this, it will throw an error because the number of parameters on the first space is 3, and we are not giving the third parameter here, which is a replacement. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, this will be useful whenever the number of strings are same. Like in this case, this will be 2. That's it.
So
We'll
if we want to give 3 or 4 parameters, will that accept?
Yeah, so if here it is, let's take this is O and this is Q. This will work. So
Okay.
now A will be replaced with T, G will replace with P, and O will replace with Q. That will work.
Mm-hmm.
So the number of parameters here and your replace value should be same in case of translate. Okay, I'll go through the example. Don't worry. I'm just going through the concept how things are working. And once I give the examples to you, you can just correlate that which function I can use here. Okay. Next, reverse. That's simple. What group by? Selected something else. Okay, so the final output will be, it will give you the reverse. Okay, so these are the functions. We can have other functions also, but these are the functions. If you know, that's enough. Like you can still work on the string functions. There will be some other functions will be there that you can go to the SQL Server site, Microsoft SQL Server site, and put the string function there, and you get a list of everything. And it is not mandatory that you should know everything as well. So whenever you will use it, just refer there. Whenever you know work part as well. But these are the functions. If you know, you can do so many exercises and examples. We are good. Any functions? If you have any doubt, do let me know. So out of this, everything is important, and even important is the string aggregator. Okay, but this is a string function, but it's a aggregate function. Other than that, these are all normal functions. All right. Do you have any questions? All right. Okay, that's great. Okay, now let's understand the date functions. Even in the date functions, so many functions we have, but we will discuss about which are most important things, okay, which will be really helpful to you. So the first function which I want to discuss is, let's discuss this. So order underscore id, comma order underscore date. Okay, from orders. So in this case, let's take from the order date, I want to extract year or even month, something like that I want to extract it. So for that, we need to use a function called date part. Okay. So the date part function is, it will take first parameter as what you want to extract. Okay. So let's say I want to extract year from my order underscore date is YR. If I execute this, for the each and every record, you can have the corresponding year. and this year is nothing but it's an integer. Okay, it's never be a date because 2019, 2018 all are in numbers, right? These are all numbers. Now you can do something like this. So in first assignment, I think I have given one question that I need the orders for whole year 2020, right? So that time you are giving like orders in between 1st January 2020 to 31st December 2020. In between, you are giving the range, the where
Yes.
condition, right?
Yes.
So now you can take this part into the where condition and put equals to 2020. So it will consider whole year. Make sense?
So you just give date part, year, and out of
Hmm.
the bracket you say just equal to 2020.
Yeah, correct. Like this.
Okay.
Next.
Okay.
So it will consider whole 2020.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in this one, you can extract even the month as well. So I will say month. But this month is not the month like January, February, and all. It is actually a month
They'll
number.
be integers.
Yeah. It's a month number rather than month name. So 11, 7, all these things. Okay. But if you want, and you can do here week, all these things, you can do it. Week, day of the week, all these things. But if you need actually the month name, then I want to use another function that is called date name. Okay, then if I give month here, then order date, then it is actually month name. Okay, then it will give you January, February, March, April, May, June. Make sense? Date part, date name. Okay, and in the date name, you can use another variation. Is called your. I think if I will not forget, that is I think weekday. Yeah, I think weekday. Weekday will give you the day name, like Sunday, Monday, all these things. Okay. Here I didn't explain one more thing also. Now, if you see each query when you write now, there is a collapse and expand buttons are there. If you want, you can do that. So you can just click on that, it will expand completely. Or you can one by one you can. So this is one query, this is one query. You can do that. That's as well. Which query you're querying, we can expand it and we can work on. See. So the date name weekday is like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right. Very good. Okay. Now next function I want to use is for the date add. This is also very important. So the date add function is like you want to add something. Okay. So let's say I want to add 5 days to my order date. So what is the useful of date add? It can traverse. I can go forward and backward. So that like, let's say I want to go 1 year before, 1 year after. So to calculate some formula, right? So that time your date add function will work. Okay. So here let's say first date add will take 3 parameters. The first parameter is what you want to add. So whether you want to add year, day, month, week, what you want to add here. Let's say I want to add a day. Then the next parameter would be how many days. So let's take 5 days. Then on which column I will say on the order date column. It's date add. So what will happen if I execute now? If you see here, this is 2021 11/10 or 2011 15. 5 days got added to this. Correct? Makes sense?
Yes, got it.
And suppose you want to the year. Let's take year 1. These are the functions, very important function. You will, when you implement this, you will come to know. Now it was 2021, now it has moved to 2022. And you can reverse also, minus also you can do it. So it will be 2022. So this parameter can be positive and negative both. So if you want to go the reverse way, you want to give minus, and if you are going to forward, you need to give the positives. Good? Okay. Now, one thing, can you somebody tell me what are the other date columns I have in the orders? I have order date and ship date also is there, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes, ship date.
Yeah, ship date is there. Okay. So somebody wants the difference between these two. How many number of days there is a difference. So we have placed an order for a product and it got shipped after 1 day or 2 days, right? So it took me 2 days, 3 days to ship my order. So in that case, I need the difference between 2 days. So for that, I need to use my date diff function. Okay? Date difference function. Then this also have the same parameter. Like first, what difference you want? Like the date difference, month difference, year difference. What you need? So first that I need to give it. So I say date difference. Then I need to give 2 date columns. Order underscore date, comma, ship underscore date as date underscore diff. So it will give you the number of days between these two for each order ID. So here it is 1 1, it is 3. So this you can check it out. Maybe we can take the ship date also to understand. Yeah, if you see, this is 3 days, right? So 8 to 11, 3 days difference. And I will suggest few people I saw, they will take like the minus. Okay. In the sense, they will take ship date minus order ID, order date. That is fine. But the problem will happen is when your year changes, when your month changes, or even your quarter changes. Right? So I will suggest don't use all this minus and for this date difference. SQL is giving a functions to you, date diff, and it will automatically take care when the year changes happen. Suppose somebody asks you that, suppose I have a date, order date on 31st of December 2023, and it got shipped on 4th of January 2014. Sorry, 2024. That if you take a minus, no, it will not calculate properly because the year is changing. So that time we need to put some extra logic for that. So why should you do that? So take the date diff, it will automatically take care of the year changes and it will perfectly give you the date difference. Make sense? This makes sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So these are the your date functions and these are the your string functions. We are good on this. All right. Now, next function which I want to discuss is called null functions, null handling functions rather.
So first functions you discussed, what functions are there?
This one, string aggregate.
They
It
are
is,
all string functions, right?
this is also string, but it's aggregate function.
No, sir. The first set of functions you described, the length, left, substring.
Oh, this one is string function.
Yeah, they are string functions.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Is there banana chips? I'll give you. Wait.
Now let's understand about the null handling functions. Okay. So first of all, let me check whether I have any nulls or not. If not, I will make it null. Okay. So that we can handle something. No, I don't have any nulls data, my whole table. So let's make it null. So I want to make the city column nulls for couple of data, couple of order IDs. Okay. So how we'll do it? If I ask you now, I don't have any null, but I want to insert some nulls, or I have a data. I want to do city column. I want to null for, let's take this order ID, and let's take somehow this order ID. How I will do it? Hmm? Now you need to tell me. This is very important. You need to tell me now. For this order ID, I want to make the city null, and let's take this order ID. How we will do it? You're getting the question?
No.
Why no? What is the doubt?
For that order ID, what you are going to make null?
City.
City.
City. Okay.
How we will do it?
Mm.
First of all, why I am doing null? That's the important thing, no? Because I want to explain you the null handling functions. So for that, we should have some null data on your table. Since I don't have anything called null here, so I'm explicitly putting some values as null. So that's the question I'm asking. For this two order ID, I want to make the city column null. For that, the city should be null. How I will do it? No answers? Okay. Now tell me, I already have a data on my table. And if you want to edit something, which command I should use?
Update. Update.
Correct.
Modify.
Update. Update I need to use. Yeah. Update, then
Ordered.
update table name.
Ordered.
Okay.
Yeah. Update table.
Hmm. Set city equals to null.
Oh,
Right? Where order ID. So you guys are not practicing properly. So I explained to you, right? You can take this to right? Did I not explain you the update statement in any classes? Update, delete, I explained, right?
yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So my two rows got affected. Okay. Now let me two rows got affected. Now I want to extract where city is null. What I will do? Now I updated two records where city is
Where
null now.
order ID
Hmm.
is equal to null. Is null.
Cool. Order ID or city?
City.
City. City.
So
Where city?
yeah,
Equals to null.
city is null. Is
Equals to
null.
null or what?
Is
Is
null.
null.
Is null. Why equals to null will not work?
Uh,
It
because null
considers
is not.
null as a string. I'm thinking.
Sorry, come again. I'm disturbing with two sounds. Why city equals to null will not work?
Uh, I mean, it considers null as any string, any value.
No, somebody was saying something. She was near to that. Before to that, who was talking?
Because there is no value as null. Null doesn't have a value, so you cannot assign city equals null.
Or rather, we can say city null is never comparable with any columns.
Any column. So you say city is null.
Yeah,
Even city equals to, if we keep apostrophe also, it will not work.
it will not work. So here we are saying that when we are doing is null, then we are saying it's null, right? So that it is the first null handling steps where we want to filter the data where null is there. We need to use is null. I want. Okay. Okay. Now the next one. Suppose you have some nulls. Somebody told you that yes, okay, there are some nulls are there, but when you are displaying the nulls, don't display null. Instead of that, put some value like unknown, not required, or we don't know, something like that. Put some values so that it is easier to understand, right? So what I will do here in this case to handle the next one. So I'll take my order ID, comma, city, comma. So to handle the nulls, I will use two functions. First is null. There is a function called is null. So this is null is we are putting inside your where statement, but this is null is without the space. People get confused actually this one. So city is space null is a where condition where you are checking that whether that city is null or not, that we are checking. But this is null function is a null handling function. Wherever there is a null, we can define some other values. So here I say city, then I will say unknown. So what will happen in this case is that wherever it founds city is null, it will replace with unknown. Let's see. Let me do the order by as well. Order by. See here, wherever there is a null, there are some no data here in this. This is fine. This is not null. Okay, these are blanks. Wherever there is a found it null, it is replacing with unknown. This is the function called is null. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay. So this is one function, but I would suggest this will be make confusion for somebody because we have is null in the where clause as well is null in the function. So better standardized function. Now the modern functions, model null handling functions is called coalesce. This is the important. Yes. Same function, it will work like that only, but output remains same. Is null and coalesce remain same, but we can have a advantages here in the coalesce. What is the advantage? We can take multiple columns here. What does it mean by multiple column in coalesce? So let's take, I am putting like this, city, state, comma, region. What does it mean exactly for the coalesce? So When you are giving multiple columns in the college, right? Just try to understand this statement. Whenever you are giving multiple columns in this case, college, then it will take the first not null value. I'm repeating again, first not null values. What does it mean? So it will go each, anyway, it is going by row. So it will check for the city column. If it found null, then it will refer to the state column. And if it found in the state it is null, it will refer to the region column. And if it found still in the region column it is null, then it will give you unknown. So like that the way it will work.
Which means the null, it should
Hmm.
satisfy all the three. The null should
All
be
the
there
three.
for all the three,
Yeah.
not for one.
Yeah. If it is city in one case, in this order ID, right? My city is null, right? So it
Yeah.
will refer to the state. So it will print the state value there. Instead of city value, it will give the state value. And suppose on that particular row, city is null, state is also null for that particular row, then it will refer to the region value. And three of everything is null for the particular row, then it will give you the unknown. So like that
So,
police. I will give an example here. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, which means like it is looking for the alternatives to fill that null.
Yeah, that's correct. Where you can implement, I will tell you now. So this is the advantage, a very good advantage here. This is the advantage over regional. We can have multiple columns. So let's run this and you can understand this. See, previously what happened when regional case, when you are putting city, it is unknown directly. But in this case, if you see city, it is mainland Utah because this is state. So in this particular two rows, it found city as null. So it referred to the next column, which is the state column.
So
It makes sense?
when it is referring to
Good.
the next one, this is creating a new column, right? No
What new
column
column?
name.
Haha,
No column.
it's a new column only. New column only, right? We're defining a new column, correct?
Okay, so it's not replacing the same in the same column. A new
Again,
column
I'm
is
saying
getting.
this is select. It will never replace anything. This is just a representation we are doing. Select. Select means we are displaying. That's it. So now this example, I will give you an example here. I think let me have this. So this table I will give you how to insert and all. Let me create this table for you. There is a wages table is there. Let me put a control N and it got done. Now say select start from my wages table. So here if you see, this is something like we are maintaining an employee information. So how much hourly they worked, how much have their salary, any commission they have, or is there any number of sales they are done for the employees. So when in this case, when you consider the salary, how you will calculate here? Just think like if I want to ask you the what is the salary of like you need to understand salary plus how much number of hours they worked or how much commissions they worked. Everything I need to consider, right? In this case, it's making sense this table for you. Any doubt you can tell me. Yeah, don't be in a silent. I'm saying I'm doing something. If you're not understanding, just quietly ask me. If I'm talking, it's not making sense because I know this, right? This you
Yeah.
need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Coming with the
So,
salary, when you're taking with hourly wages, why there is no salary mentioned?
maybe we not decided for that, like how much
Okay.
salary that employees would get it. So I'm keeping null there. We don't know, right? So in this case, this will be assignment. I'm just overview to you are giving. This is a clear-cut example of a coalesce function. Okay. So when you are considering your salary, how you will consider. Suppose who have the salary is fine, but if you don't have the salary, then suppose this guy don't have a salary, that is fine. But which guy have the salary 10,000? So I should consider the hourly wages or commission or the written sales. If not, I will give us some default value, something like that. I'm giving it. I'm not doing it rather. So what I'm saying that it's something like this. Less. So I will say first commission. Let's say commission salary. If it is salary is null, it will look for commission. If it is not, it will check for the number of sales like this. And based on that, it will calculate the salary. So I will give an assignment on top of this, but this is a clear-cut example of a college function. This makes sense? How I will do it? I'll give this assignment to you. Will this make sense? So we need to somehow want to calculate the what is called salary for each and every employee. But here the problem is, I have couple of commissions are null. I have number of sales are null. So we need to. I will give a formula so that you can put it using the coalesce. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this will be an assignment, but I will give you the tables as well to create it. And I'm just giving a brief here is that we need to calculate the salary of the employees. So if there is a salary, it is fine. If there is a no salary, it should consider the commission. If its commission is null, then it should consider the number of sales into something. If the number of sales is not there, we can say not defined. Suppose there is no salary, it will consider the commission and multiply it with some percentage plus number of hours, something like that. We will do it and we'll calculate the salary. Am I talking correct? What I'm trying, you understand the problem?
Yeah.
So in this type of example, we can use your coalesce function. All right? Okay. I will give this assignment. No worries. You understand the problem, right? Anybody have any doubts on the coalesce function at least?
No doubts.
Understanding of
No.
okay. Then this wages function I will give you. Now the very important, and that will be your life will be easy if you know this in SQL. That is called your case statement. You know if statement ever you use in your throughout any life, any career or anywhere, you use the if statement.
Yes, sir.
If yeah. So if this condition is greater than 10 this much, yeah, else this much, right? So you can write an if statement. So in SQL, we have if statement in programming part of the SQL that we are not discussing, but when you're writing a SQL, right, there is no if statement, there is no if. So we have a case statement, case. Okay, we will have a case statement. How I will do it here? Let's take an example of a case statement. So let's take, I'm saying select order ID, comma profit from my orders. I have some profit. Now this profit, right, I want to make it a statement here. In the sense, how I'll write it, let me tell you. So whenever the profit is less than 100, I'll say the low profit, less than 200 medium profit, less than 300 average profit, less than 400 high profit, or something like that. I want to create a formula. So how I will do it? There's a separate column, right? So separate column means comma. Then I can write here case like that. Okay. I'll say when profit is less than 100, then I will say it's a low profit. Right? I say when profit less than 200, then I'll say medium profit, when profit less than 300 is average profit. Then when profit less than 400, then I will say that high profit. Else you can say very high profit. Finally, I will put end here. Okay, what happened to this? Invalid column profit. I have a profit column. Let me run this. Oh, sorry. Why this mistake is coming for me, because case statements are uh, different to different environment. If you go to the Python, there is different. So that's what I'm missing. You're going to write then in SQL. Sorry. This will happen if you work on multiple streams. Then, sorry. You need to write like this. Now it is okay. So now if you run it, this one, you'll get some amount here. So wherever is there is 100, less than 100, it will low profit and all these things. So I can rename as this. So I will say edge profit underscore bucket. So now done this. Oh, we'll get a profit bucket here. Okay, if that makes sense, this statement. Are you good? You guys are there?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it's something like case when profit. So it will go row by row. So it will check profit is less than 100, low profit. Profit is less than 100, low profit. Low profit. So let's, wherever the medium profit will come, medium profit is less than 200. Now, this is a one question to you, is that very important question. This value, it is less than 100. Say yes or no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Less than 200,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
less than 300, less than
Yes.
400 also.
Yes.
Then why
Yeah.
it is coming low profit? Why it is not coming medium or average?
It will check one by one. First condition it
Row
says
by row it is checking.
row by row is
First condition.
Row by row it is checking, but row by row it is
the
checking the
case.
first condition. But why it is not checking this condition, or this condition why it is not satisfying? Just remember
Because
one thing. Yeah, go ahead.
when we keep a condition, if it returns true,
Hmm,
it gives the whatever we have. It satisfies
hmm,
the condition.
hmm.
It means it will go to the another row.
It will see what happen is in the first row it will check the condition, and in this case the first condition is true for me, right? This for this particular row it is less than 100. So in case of case statement, right, if the first statement is true, it will not check the second, third condition, fourth condition. It will just break from there. Done. It will not check the second one. It will not check the second condition at all. That's what it is happening. So the first condition, in this case, the medium one. Let's take an example of the medium. So the first one, is this less than 100? No. So if this is false, then it will go to the next condition. And here it is satisfied. Less than 200, medium profit. Done. We will not check the next condition, whether it's less than 300, less than 400. It will not check. It will check just the first condition. If it is true, give the output. Second condition, if it is first statement is false, it will check the second condition. Second condition is false, it will check the third condition, third to fourth. And if it's all the conditions are false, then it will come to the else part. That's why the case when will work. So whenever you are writing the case statement, it is very careful we need to do that. Okay, so what does it mean? I'll take an example here. So what I will do here in this case is I'll set 300 here. Less than 300 is low profit, and this is I'm saying 100. I'm just change the sequence. Okay, now what will happen in this case? Is there any output will change here?
The output will change.
Change, right? What will change?
All
Whichever is less than, yeah,
less than 300, everything will be low profit.
low profit. That's you need to understand. That's correct. So all 300 will be, see, 300, more than 300 is directly going to the very high profit here. So you should be very much careful what you are writing here, because the sequence is very much important when you are writing the case statement. This always you need to remember this. Okay. Any questions now? You can ask me because I am done for today.